President Biden quickly backtracks after making this stunning remark.
I know this sounds bizarre. It sounds like if I said this 5 years ago, you'd lock me up. We got to lock him up. Politically lock him up. Lock him out. That's what we have to do. The decisions we make in a very short span of time are going to determine what the rest of the next 5, 6, 7 decades are going to look like. Not a joke.
The president just confirmed warfare, that is, trying to put his political opponent in jail before the election. Bill Hammer joins me now. Do you think that Kamala Harris welcomes this kind of help from the president?
Probably not. I thought there were two curious things about that. Well, number one, why are you going to New Hampshire? I don't get it. I don't understand it. We looked at the polling results thus far. There's a really good governor's race there. Kelly Ayotte, she's a good candidate. She's running against the former mayor in Manchester, and it's a one-point race. Harris, meanwhile, is leading Trump by 2 points. Now, there's only been 4 polls in New Hampshire.
That's it?
I mean, 2 points is margin of error stuff here.
No, absolutely.
So that's just one thought on this. Okay, that to the side. If you're stating that you want to politically lock up the other side, I don't know what that means. I don't know how you define it.
I didn't pay attention to that part. I paid attention to lock him up.
No, I get it, but then he saved himself a little bit after the applause went down a little bit. Okay, I know that a lot of Republicans are saying that, yeah, he tried to, but just that phrase, politically lock up, define it. I don't know what that means.
Well, presumably, Harris wins. Harris must win to lock him out of politics. I guess that's what he said.
I assume. I think it's worthy of a follow-up.
I think we shall agree to disagree on this one, Hammer, but there you are. Next one. A new report shows that Trump and Harris, their campaigns have spent a combined $538 million in Pennsylvania alone. It's officially the most expensive battleground state. Why is Pennsylvania always thought of as the sole must-win state?
So if we're right, and these battleground states are what they are, and there are 7 there on the table, Pennsylvania's got the biggest. They got the biggest pile of cash, which is something you can understand. You know, they got 19 electoral votes, 1 less than they had in 2020. You know, this was very similar to races we watched back in the 2000s and the 2010s, when places like Florida, 27 electoral votes, was the biggest swing state, or even Ohio at 18 electoral votes back then was considered the biggest swing state. On the wall, on election night, if you've got 19 electoral votes out there, either side that is able to win Pennsylvania is going to have an easier path to the White House. The second thing I would add, you mentioned the money. There is a big Senate race happening right now. You know, Bob McCormick's the Republican, run against Dave McCormick against Bob Casey, the Democrat. Casey's got a long family name in that state. He's won several terms in Pennsylvania. And just this past week, the Cook Political Report took that Senate race and moved it from lean Dem to a toss-up. So that's another reason why you get the hundreds of millions of dollars you're spending in Pennsylvania now.
The Harris campaign is going on it's a bus tour of red states this week. They'll be talking about abortion, Florida, Kentucky, and Texas. That's where they're going, a tour of the red states. The Trump campaign, they did a blue state tour focusing on immigration and the economy. Which is more effective, in your opinion?
My sense is that if there's a secret vote on November 5th, it's going to come from women. And it's going to come in places that you may not expect, even if abortion's not on the ballot. That is what my hunch tells me as of right now. Conversely, for Trump, he's winning a lot of these news events. The drive-through in McDonald's.
Yeah, brilliant.
You know, Harris is going to Houston to talk about abortion on Friday. We'll see what kind of play that gets. And then Trump comes back on Sunday at Madison Square Garden, world's most famous arena. I know for a fact that his campaign going 6 months ago, when they were going through these court cases in New York, they had their eye on Madison Square Garden.
They did.
The problem at the time was that it's very expensive to maintain, for the campaign to go ahead and pay the money. Apparently, they feel comfortable enough to spend the money now, and they're going to lay that down 9 days before the big vote.
He's coming to the belly of the beast.
And
he'll fill the garden, probably.
Listen, he'll fill the garden on the inside. I'm just wondering about what happens on the streets outside. You don't think all those folks in Brooklyn and Williamsburg are going to take the F train to Manhattan to show a sign of protest against Donald Trump? This city's going to be on.
No. If anybody, it's got to be
figuratively speaking, Manhattan's going to be on fire on Sunday, and I'm not just talking about the Jets, Giants, and Knicks.
That all those yuppies on the Upper West Side, you think they're going to come down to protest Trump? They wouldn't be caught dead.
I did not say the yuppies from the Upper West Side.
And you got it wrong. You're talking about the Bronx folks.
Brooklyn
and you're wrong. They've got a lot of supporters out there. You know, Bill, you're so wrong on so many things. I'm surprised. But welcome to the show.
You got it, brother. Good to be with you.
See you later.
Always. You too, boss.